What's going on, legends? Today we're gonna go over how you post your first listing on Amazon. We're gonna go from the beginning to the very end, to getting the labels, to putting your supplier's address, to getting an address to the Amazon warehouse. So I want to make sure everything is very clear. I've been getting quite a lot of messages privately on Facebook and on Instagram as to how to do that. I hope that answers a lot of your questions. But before we get into that, I want to ask you for a quick little favor. It should be simple for you to do. Click subscribe right here, because I will keep posting new content for you to enjoy and learn for free. So all I'm asking is support back, and if you even like the video, that will help too. Alright, so let's hop on my screen here. I believe this video will show you exactly what you need to know about how to post your first listing. Before we get into it, make sure you actually join our Facebook group right below. I'll put the link here, because we have this beginner FBA checklist that will really answer a lot of your questions, a lot of the basic questions that new members that start FBA don't actually know. And this will save you quite a bit of time from research and so on. So that link again is available in our Facebook group. Just join in and you will find that right there. Let's go back to Amazon here, and let's pretend that you've done all the product research. You've already figured that part out. Let's just go with an example that I kind of prepared. Smart key holder. Okay, so this is some rough example. Now I don't know if this product is great or not. I just thought of that idea, and that might be good. Now for those of you that are using Viral Launch, I'll have a link as well for that for the Viral Launch program. We have 50% off for people that join that one, exclusive to our members in our group. But this, for example, really quickly about here, if we just filter it quick just to check maybe it's a great product, if it is, you're welcome to steal it. So review count, not too bad. There's quite a bit of reviews here. Overall it's low count. The revenue is not the highest, but it's not horrible. I mean, product prices seem to be okay too. Overall, I mean, I personally wouldn't go for this product for many reasons. I don't want to dive into product research right now, but let's just say that you're happy with this product. Let's say this is what you want to sell. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hop over to our seller dashboard. And now we want to start selling. And let's say you already found a supplier on Alibaba, you found the prices you want, you're gonna negotiate, now you're ready to list the product. So we're gonna go to inventory, add product, and you get to this page. Now here, I mean, you could search for the product and see other examples of it, but assuming you already have an example open over here, let's just open a random one. Let's say you already have this one open and you know what you're gonna write about, so you don't necessarily have to search there. So create a new product listing, and now you're here. So let me just type that out in here again and find category. And now obviously you just kind of pick whichever category fits best. It gives you a lot of suggestions. You could do it manually too if you don't see it, but let's just go with, I'm not gonna read it too into it, let's just say it's this one. So this is the category. That leads you to all the main important information. I like to right away click on the advanced view so that I can see everything I need. You don't have to necessarily when you're just setting up the listing, but in the future it might be something necessary because you want to add a description, keywords, and so on. So let's just say product name. This will be the title of your ad. So this is essentially this part right here, right? Whatever you're gonna see here, this is what all the users are gonna see. This is what your customers will see. So you want to make sure that this part is capturing. There's the marketing aspect of it, there's the keyword aspect of it, lots of different variations. But for the sake of this example, let's just assume that I've already thought of the greatest title. Smart key holder, or organizing messy keys, whatever. Like, you just come up with a big title, make sure it makes sense for the user, so when they read it, it actually sounds good. I personally like to capitalize every first word because it just looks more popping. It comes out at you like a more important kind of title. So let's just say that I finished with my title. This is what I'm gonna go with. Obviously you don't want to have keys or whatever, but anyways. So brand name, that will be your brand. So whatever way you want to represent this item. So for example, Apple, that's the big company, that's the manufacturer. Macintosh is the actual laptop, so that's the brand for that laptop. So let's just say, and we're gonna call this Key Smart Smarty. There you go. And the manufacturer will be ABC Ltd, whatever, doesn't really matter. Manufacturer part number, if you have a part number for this, you can add it on. Product ID, so in this case UPC code, that's the one I'm using. You can get those if you go on our list, you'll see where you can get that from. If you Google UPC code, and plenty of options available online, you just have to research a little bit and find the right one for you. I believe they go for about $5 or so a piece. You can buy them in bulk, it might be cheaper. So I don't have a UPC code handy, but it's usually a 12-digit number, so let's just say that's what it is. It's probably going to give me an error because it's not valid. And obviously you fill out the rest, color and size and so on. Let's just say everything here is filled out. So this would be small, whatever. So we have offer. So in our case, it would be obviously new. This one is for your records, your label, the SKU. We already talked about it in another video, but this is how you're gonna differentiate. If you have many different items, you're gonna differentiate, okay, this is the key, smart key. So we can do smart key 01, for example, right? And then any notes for yourself if you need to. For example, if there's certain colors that you don't provide or certain materials that you don't offer or whatever. Sorry if I say whatever a lot, I'm really like focused and concentrated, so I get into it, and next thing you know, I say a lot of things that I don't even mean to say, and bear with me. So, price, that's of course the price that you want to set the item to. So if you go back to the examples here, if you open Viral Launch for an easier view of it all, you can see roughly what all the numbers are going for, and you want to price yourself competitively. So again, we're gonna really quickly go through this, not too much thinking as far as what price to give it and so on. But if you see there's 21, 22, there's 17, so the comfortable price area that I would think of right off the bat, without going too in depth with this, will probably be around $19 to $23, somewhere in that area. And again, that's based on all the research that I have to do first. But let's just say I'm going with $21.97. Sure, let's just stick with that number for the sake of this example. Quantity, because you're just listing the item and you don't have the inventory yet, you're gonna put 0 because you don't have anything. All of that stuff you can leave blank in the meantime. Those things are not too important at the moment. Images, I doubt you have images ready because you don't even have the item yet. I'm assuming the sample is on the way to you. Now you can start taking photos and post it up for the images section. Description stands for itself, so you want to put the best description you can. So best way to do that is to go on another example here. I'm just going to click on any of the examples here, and you look at that. That's a fairly decent description. Is it the best one? I mean, it does what it needs. Like there's some bold, there's like sizes and all the information I need. Can I find an ad that has a better one? Probably. Let's see this one. Okay, well this one definitely is another level. You can tell which one put a little bit more effort. Now that one does require a little bit of code knowledge, and matter of fact, I don't know how much Amazon allows coding in depth, but for the most part, if you get a description looking like this, you're bound to make a lot more sales. Okay, so this is where the description goes. For HTML stuff, all you really need to know is that this means, and this is text in between, the brackets B and the closed bracket B means bold. Anything else you don't really need, but you need to know that this is a break line, so it goes to the next line. You type in the next text, break line, oops, break line, it goes to the next text, and so on. If you do 2 break lines, obviously it's going to give you 2 spaces. So that's all you really have to know for coding. Not too much. I hope this is not difficult. And then moving on to the next one. So we have the keyword product feature. So this one is those 5 bullet points right here. Okay, now what you need to understand here is each one of these you have to keep up to 50 characters. So maximum 50, altogether is 250. So that means that you click 5 times on add more, and then you fill it out with up to 50 keywords. Now what I like to do personally is, and looks like it's a trend that's going, you do the first thing is the main keyword you want to target in a obviously capturing customer servicey way, and then you talk a lot more about it and you try to include as many keywords as you can, still that's readable and it's still user friendly, because first you want to focus on the customer that's reading this, because you want them to understand, you want them to buy your item. And then second of all, keywords, and make sure you target them hard on this one. Of course, you want to fill out everything. Do not leave a single point empty. Use all the 5 spots. Okay. You can ignore this because I doubt you'll have a choking hazard or anything like that in there. And again, if there's any warning description, warning labels do you need, which I doubt most of you will. Keywords. So the main ones you need to know here is, add the 5 lines here. That's what I do right away. And the 5 lines for this. Same idea. Those are both important as well. And again, this is more into the keyword research. I'm not going to dive into that too much, but you want to know that you have to have all 5 lines filled up. Okay. And then more details. So this self-explanatory, just go with the flow here. What is the weight? Weight of the item individually in the package. So whatever the user gets to their door when they open the Amazon box and there's a package inside, what is the weight of that? And then what do we have here? So launch day, obviously you don't really have to worry about it. Item dimension and package dimension. So personally, I really just fill out the package dimension because from edge to edge, that's what you need to know. So whenever you have a supplier wrapping up your stuff and their packaging, make sure you tell them to make it very, very tight, because you want to ensure that the shipping cost and how light it is and so on, everything is accounted as the bare minimum, so you don't have to pay a lot for shipping. And this is a package dimension per individual item. Make sure you don't make that mistake. I made that mistake with putting, not in this area, but in a different area, I put the whole box of like 100 or 500 units, which ended up being obviously a full box of items. That's oversized. That's not per item. So here you're gonna enter your dimensions of the item. Obviously select what it is in. And what else do you need to know here? That pretty much covers most of that. Weight and package dimension. That's all you really need to get started with. Once things are coming to the warehouse, then you can enter more and more as you go. Okay, so for the most part, we covered here. If you have variations, then I would suggest before you even fill out anything here, you go straight to variations. Click on what type of variation it is, whether it's size, color, material, whatever it is. Let's just say it's a color variation. And then you type in what color it is. So green. And then you add in black. And then you add in blue, whatever. As many as you need. You click add. And then now you have pretty much the same idea of what information you need to enter, just in the very grid area. So UPC code for each, what condition it's in, what price you want to give that specific variation, how much of that variation you have, and then what color code you want to give it. So green can be GN, black can be BK, for example, right? Just so you know, or with a smart key, so you know that this was the green smart key every time someone orders, just for easy sorting organization purposes, right? After everything is filled out, you're gonna have this automatic save and finish. Usually it does its own saving if there's no issues. And what you're gonna see is, let me go back. And what you're gonna see is your inventory. Now, how do we get to the inventory? Click on add, click on inventory, click manage inventory. Now, of course, I'm gonna blur this out because I don't want you to know what my product is. But here we are, you have your product listed, and in my case, I have variations. So if I click on that, notice that my listing is inactive, it's closed. Here's a big mistake that I've done when I started. I first listed this and it was actually active. Now, I didn't think too much about it. I was like, okay, I don't have anything to worry about. My listing is not live, I have no stock, who cares? But you're actually starting to get ranking. And if nobody is ever looking at your listing, nobody is reviewing, nobody is buying, you're at the bottom of the barrel with your listing. So what you first need to do as soon as your listing is here is you click on the checkbox, go to the drop down and close listing. Make sure you see where it says inactive or closed in brackets. That way you know that you're off the shelf completely and you're not being ranked, okay? Anyways, so let's say now you're at the point that you're ready to add your inventory. So again, checkbox, drop down menu, send to inventory. Okay, we get there. And now this is the area where, I mean, you just follow the steps really. ship from, you enter your supplier shipping address. You have a case packed, because the difference here is, as you can see in the picture, this means different colors, different sizes, all just randomly packed in that box. You're probably gonna have the same sizes packed in individual boxes. So for example, if you have small sizes, they're all gonna go in one box. If you have all green color, it's all gonna go in one box. Most likely that's what you're gonna do. I doubt you're gonna do it otherwise. So you're gonna case packed products, that's what you're gonna select, and then you're gonna click on continue the shipping plan. Now, I can't really continue here because it's gonna mess up with my listing, but what you need to know is when you continue to the next step, all it's gonna ask for is who is the shipping method with, DHL, FedEx, UPS, whatever. You enter that one, you enter the dimension of the box of all the units, you enter the weight of the box, which that's what the supplier is supposed to give you, and you're gonna enter how many boxes you have. So if you have thousands of units, then obviously each box has a certain amount times how many boxes, right? So you're gonna enter that, and then you're gonna pretty much click next, and that's when Amazon is gonna say, okay, here are your labels, and you're gonna click on print the labels. It's gonna give you a nice PDF that you're gonna be able to send to your supplier, and then you're gonna go next. Now those labels are gonna be per individual item that goes in the box. On the next screen that you click next will be the labels that will give you the it will give you the PDF for the labels for the actual box. So each box that you're gonna send off with all the units will have its own label, right? So there's two different sets of labels, if that makes sense. Now that's all gonna be very straightforward. When you click next, you'll see print label, print label. Now let's just say, let's go back here, and let's say you're at a step and you like went through it, but you missed the label somehow, you lost them, whatever the case is. You can go to inventory and then manage FBA shipments. Okay, and now you're gonna see all the shipping plans you have. So you can click on shipping plans and you can see exactly what's going on when you create them, if you created them, whatever stage they're on, right? One thing you're gonna do when you have the listing is, and you have to make sure that it's actually active that way, checkbox and change to fulfill by Amazon. You want it to be Amazon, not merchant. So if not automatically set up that way, make sure you do that, because you want FBA to be working, not you to be working. Otherwise, once you set it up and the shipment is in place, you give your labels to your supplier. Now you can actually see what's going on in the shipment here. It's ready to ship. So the address for the warehouse will be on the actual labels, and you're pretty much set. Now you give it to the supplier, you wait till the supply is in, and you're all done. You're gonna see an updated standard size here. You're gonna see out of 5,000 units how many you have in when it arrives. You should ask the supplier for the tracking number while waiting for the shipment, and you're done. This is it. Not too hard. I know this is very basics. We went over everything really quick just so you get the idea of how to post your first listing, but I hope that helped. If you need me to answer any more questions specifically to how to post a listing, let me know. I'll do my very best to answer. Worst case, I'll try to find out the answer and I will make sure to give it to you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, comment on our YouTube channel, ask questions if you have them, and we'll see you in the next video.